cool. Just, propping up doors and making sure that I can speak to you fine people today on a Friday. I'm Brian. This is Breaksuck Education. And a little bit of housekeeping first. I'd like to thank Dre666 for dropping by and following. Appreciate that. By the way, I found out something on Twitch Reddit, which Twitch has a, there is a Reddit on Reddit about Twitch. I don't know if the Twitch people actually run it. But it's about, hey, I don't get any watchers on my stream. What do I do? I play games all day and whatever. And, my normal throw-off question is, have you tried doing something other than just playing games? But anyway, so somebody had mentioned that do you call out lurkers on your chat? And I didn't quite understand what they were trying to say. I was like, well, yeah, if somebody shows up and follows, I say hello and how you doing, and acknowledge them. And somebody's like, oh yeah, you don't do that. And I was like, what? And I got my signals mixed up and how the OP was trying to explain it. Basically, if there's lurkers, hey Walt, how you doing? If there's lurkers in your chat, you're not supposed to acknowledge them. Apparently, that's because a lot of people just like to put your stream on, and it's like the radio in the background where people will just listen to you, like Morning Zoo or something, which I kind of took offense to at the beginning because I was like, do people not really want to pay attention to what I'm trying to say? And then I was like, I put chill hop music on, and I'm not staring at the screen either. So I guess if they want to treat me like I'm Morning Zoo, or Morning Zoo would be like morning radio where they had special effects and shit, which, to be fair, a lot of morning shows on AM FM radio is not much different than a Twitch stream in many cases, with bits, and they do prank calls, which aren't really pranks. Sorry to burst your bubble there if you've ever listened to a show on the radio that calls up and pranks people. It's fake. They actually have actors that they call. I know, theater of the mind. I know. Sorry, my apologies. I know somebody who used to be on a long time radio show here in San Diego and told us all the ins and outs about that, and it kind of ruined me for like Morning Zoo type radio. But again, Morning Zoo radio kind of ruined Morning Zoo radio for me. Yeah, Dre666, thank you for following Snypet, S like Southern New York Pet, SNY Pet. Thank you for following. Appreciate you. And then, of course, Maker Deck gave us a shout out, so I appreciate that. Acorn X followed $500 office chair. That one was interesting on the last stream. That was very good. DJ Chateau, of course, getting a shout out. And Herodra, which gave us some bits. So I got a little money. As an aside to that, it is technically still September, which, from what I gathered, is kind of a big deal to Twitchians and to Twitchites. And let me go see what Twitch September. Apparently, it's kind of a big deal. I don't quite get all of it, but so it's an annual celebration that offers discounts on subscriptions for new or upgrading subscribers, plus some other surprises. I don't know what the other surprises are. Apparently, you get about a quarter of 25% off on 1, 3, and 30% off 6-month subscriptions. You get some bonus bits, bonus gift subs. Mobile subscriptions aren't eligible. I don't know what that means. So bonus bits are available on 5 days. That's over. All right. So feel free to take advantage of that if you find value in listening to my Morning Zoo radio, which is just me droning on and on about information security or those. So yeah, just a heads up there. So if you want to power up, I guess a minimum of 300 bits if you want to cheer. We'll contribute 10% on top of 300 bits or more power up. So if you give me 300, they will give me an additional 30 bits for whatever reason. And you can always also use Amazon Prime continually year round. You just have to remember to re-up it. So, hey Walt, hope you've had a good Friday. Hope you've had a good week. I have been dealing with goals. Been dealing with goals at work. Yeah, I got to level with you, and hopefully I don't have anybody here that is that I actually work with or anything like that. But I don't like goals. I don't. And it's not in the way you think that I hate having a goal or having to move towards an end state, because I understand that the whole discussion we have with RTO is one of those things where some people argue that management doesn't see what we're doing, so it acts like we're not doing anything. I was actually talking with my wife about this last night, and where she works, they have objective-based management, right? You have these 5 things you need to do, and you need to get them done, right? And if your organization is not built for objective-based management, that may be why your management wants you back in the office. And so we're creating goals, and this idea of goals is to what would you like to see yourself, your team, or your organization complete in a year. And so I'm writing these things up, and security has a problem overall, in this case. When I make a goal, I want to make one that I know I can control. And maybe that's not the right way to make a goal. But my thought was, for my annual review, I make up at least half of them 1 to 2 weeks before the review. Makes it easier. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Trying to make a clip here. There we go. I did something. Anyway, yeah. So I'm making up goals based on, because what I'm doing, I'm reaching out to other teams, teams that are adjacent to us, teams that we're collaborating with, and going, hey, because the worst thing you can do, and if you've listened to manager tools, you hear about things like SMART goals, and they tell you in SMART goals, manager tools, they say SMART goals aren't smart, or because a lot of times your manager will tell you if something is achievable or realistic or what have you. You can always counter that by saying it's too aggressive or what have you. So, and maybe I actually should go and listen to this Manager Tools podcast on setting annual goals. Maybe that. So that's interesting. This is an older podcast, I think, but a lot of the stuff they do is evergreen anyway, which is great. So, but yeah, so the worst thing you can do is create a goal that doesn't align with anybody else's goals. So then you're always at odds, or it's like, oh, I've got to get this done by myself. So trying to, I don't want to say piggyback, but trying to complement somebody else's, where it's like maybe you can, help out and collaborate and get those things done is always good. The other thing for me is I don't want to make a goal where I don't want to say control, but influence to get that done. Because if I say, and then there's vanity goals, which, I learned a lot about from Manager Tools, as a matter of fact. It's like, you want to say, oh yeah, we're going to, close 50% of our tickets this year. Can you even do that? Well, no, because it requires A, B, and C teams to be, on the ball and want to make those changes. So when you're making goals like that, you really need to go to those teams and go, is this possible? Can we actually make this happen? Do you even have the appetite to want to make something like this occur? And in security, it's like, we're making tickets, we're, working with those teams, but there's just some teams, it's like, you're not going to get that done. Or, and so either you need to set the goal low enough where you know that you can conceivably hit it, or you're going to have to make a lot of documentation during the year as to why you're not going to be able to make it. And the worst thing you could have is a goal where you're automatically going to be red, red, amber, green, and you're always going to be red, and you'll never be able to get out of that. It's, you kind of want a goal that you're going to be able to, finish. and yeah, I know that that's probably anathema to some people, but it's like, if you say you set a goal for September and you get it done in April, great. I don't have a problem with that, but some people do. It's like, oh, your goal wasn't aggressive enough. And I'm like, I'm not trying to sell anything. I just want to show improvement. And if, I realize, I can actually get this done a lot sooner, maybe there was more room for more goals. I don't know. The other one I love is, and I've actually had to correct several people on, are like vanity metrics or vanity goals. Like, we're going to close 500 tickets this year or something like that. And I'm like, well, that sounds great, but what if you have 15,000 tickets? What if you have, is closing 500 actually going to make a difference? Is it going to make an impact? That kind of thing. So I know it's not sexy. It's just one of those security things that you got to think about. And I hate them so much, because it's like, does anybody really give a shit? Because here I've got like the title, description, why this goals matters, goal must-haves, etc. Impact. We have measurement criteria is great, because now you've got to go, well, we have 500 tickets right now. We need to get rid of these 500 tickets because reason. Or just figuring out those numbers to be able to quantify. Okay, we have X and we want to be that minus X. We want the end goal is to be this minus some percentage or whatever. Or let me see, what was the other one? Oh yeah, we want to completely get off of this legacy equipment and get on to something else. Because goal metrics, once we aren't using it anymore. My favorite goal, and I actually it's taken me about a week to make 3 goals right now. I've actually carried 2 over from last year because there was no way in hell we were going to be able to get those done. So it was nice. So I don't do these regularly. This is like a once a year thing, and it's really high profile kind of shite. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, why don't you know how to do this? And it's like, because other people were doing them. So it's kind of interesting territory for me. The other one I love is like with the vanity metrics. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna, what was the one I was looking at? It was, we kind of live in ticket land because of the jobs we do, but it's like, we closed 50 tickets this month, and we have this in metrics for various meetings. They're like, and then next month you only close 35. And they're like, well, why do you only close 35? And I'm like, complexity, the teams involved, the level of effort from everybody, some of these tickets weren't considered important. And plus we only got 10 new tickets this month. So then you have to start looking at trending. It's like, okay, we got 50 tickets and we closed 25. We got 10 more tickets this month, but we closed 15 more. So you have to start, the way you show over time those things, and then dashboards. So I'm not smart with those. Goals that you can't control are a hope for it's like, what is it? Well, do you wish in one hand and piss in the other and see which one gets full first? Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you want to tell management, look, we're not gonna get this one done, and sometimes they'll interject their own goals, and it's like, great, we're never gonna get that one done. Well, why not? Aren't you motivated? And I was like, not with how you phrased it. That kind of thing. So sometimes you'll get people who will want to create goals for you that aren't realistic, and you have to push back on those and threat model that, because usually they don't have a good idea of where or how those things are done. So yeah, I know this is the boring part of being a PM in security. Especially when you have to go, well, how are you going to get this done? It's like, well, we need 4 more people. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, well, then you're going to get a quarter of what we want here. Or you're not going to get anything at all. The other thing they like to remind you with some of these goals, especially where I work, is like, these are not supposed to take up 100% of your time. So it's supposed to be like 10 to 15 hours or 10 to 15% of your time, or, you know, so many hours a week. And I was like, okay, so, you know, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. And so that's the thing that we're trying to address right now. So I gotta, oh well, it's Friday, so people are leaving the company, whatever, la la la. Okay, I don't know who that is. So on Tuesday we talked about the exploding pagers. And actually, there was an addendum to that story where there was some exploding walkie-talkies that came out on Wednesday, which is interesting. So the BBC, and other news organizations are talking about, they said, just as crowds had gathered to mourn some of the killed in pager attacks, an additional explosion rocked a Hezbollah stronghold in southern Beirut. They found out there was a second wave of explosions targeting walkie-talkies. And they say no equipment was considered safe. Okay, whatever. Okay, BBC, easy, bruh. So yeah, there is a huge supply chain. I don't want to say issue well, Hezbollah has a supply chain issue. Somebody has figured out, not saying who, but has managed to get inside their like infrastructure, or, you know, who they send to the what I find interesting is Hezbollah has procurement and disbursement people, or like the company credit card. I don't know what the company credit card looks like, but who you know, how are they buying things from these organizations? Are they using PayPal or Bitcoin or whatever? Anywho, so yeah, there was an explosion of 25 people were apparently killed. Some exploding pagers occurred, and then the walkie-talkies exploded. It isn't that why we do so much airport screening? All those X-ray machines should catch the items. I don't know. Would it have caught? So the one thing you'd have to think about is they're going in somehow, either by freighter to certain areas. They're coming in from neighboring countries through trucks. You know, ideally through ports of call in other countries and being brought in that way. They're being smuggled in by people, which means, you know, they'd have to get in some way. But so there was an additional article that I had found. Let me see. No, that's not it. Oh, this one here. All right, so this is from Reuters, and it's in the cybersecurity area. So this woman, her name is Cristiana Barsoni Arcidiacono. That's probably the best I'm going to get. The Italian-Hungarian CEO and owner of Hungary-based BAC Consulting. So this lady, this must be from her social media accounts, has a PhD in particle physics. She has an apartment in Budapest. She speaks 7 languages. She has an apartment plastered with her own pastel drawings of nudes. Okay, I'm not sure why such a non sequitur from Reuters. And a career that took her around Africa. So she is a consultancy firm that buys things for people, or manufactures things, or has people where the people where the pagers are on flights. BBC was concerned about pagers exploding in flight. Well, I think if you work for Hezbollah and you're on a flight, yeah, I'd be worried about that. Now, it's not to say if you use an alpha pager from those companies. I would say so Walt, to your point, I think this is super targeted. Like, if you've got one of these, it's because you've contracted with somebody like BAC, to buy a bunch of pagers or buy a bunch of walkie-talkies. So this lady, 49 years old, she says she hasn't done, what she says she has done is making exploding pagers that killed 12 people and wounded more than 2,000 in Lebanon this week. Her company was revealed to have licensed the design of the pagers from Gold Apollo. So she's a third party that is like, hey, I want to make these pagers. And she says she didn't, but she says her company didn't make them. She's just intermediate. So her company bought the rights to allow for outsourcing of the pagers and potentially walkie-talkies. I don't know if the walkie-talkies are made by them too, but it's complicated. It's really complicated, this supply chain that they have. So the one is she's selling them to Hezbollah, apparently, or she is the person that they ordered them from. It's a trading intermediary company, no manufacturing site in the company, and the pagers had never been to Hungary. So, she buys the right to be able to make these, but then she outsources it to Taiwan, or she outsources it to someplace that's cheaper, where she can make them for cheaper with manufacturing tools that they have. And, apparently she's not really she doesn't look at who's buying them or what have you. But I guess it's understood that this person is the one, or her company is the one that was actually selling them to Hezbollah. So yeah, it's really weird. So a really complicated supply chain issue here. She is apparently not talking to media for whatever reason. She may or may not have knowledge of how things got involved. She was describing hiring. So yeah. It's an interesting web of this issue that's going on. So let me see what else. Resume used to get, somebody found her. I read that someone in customs was tipped off and the freight was intercepted at an EU airport. Oh, huh. Walt, I'd like to see that article. You said you read that someone in customs was tipped off and intercepted at an EU airport. Yeah, so that's, so I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've heard of, I had heard that, in the supply chain, there are things where it can get intercepted, right? So, I was imagining like a big freight airplane flying from what was supposed to be Taiwan, but it isn't. It's from some place where this person, the CEO, outsourced the designs of the pagers to a third party, or a fourth party in this case, to have them built. And at some point, somebody found that out. I don't know who that somebody is. Intercepted the shipment, or to Walt's point, the freight was intercepted at some point. Maybe they got modified in transit. Maybe there was a big warehouse where that crate or whatever got moved to. Some interesting electronics and explosives got added, and then they got repackaged up and shipped to Hezbollah, and then boom. So yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if anything happens, or I don't want to say if anything happens, but what the continuing discussion is about this person, because they can't find her anymore, or she is not talking to media. She won't come in public. She's been, shuttered. Her door had a vestibule that had been open earlier in the week. It's now closed. And so I don't know how they found these people, because Reuters isn't talking about how they figured this out. Maybe they got a hold of the shipping manifest or something. So yeah. Seriously, the last two here is that. Are they trying to say she doesn't exist at all and they just kind of made her up? And so 2 of the 4 points is the fact that she never pursued a career in science, but she has a PhD in physics. Okay, sure. That is interesting. So 1 second here. Oh yeah, that is interesting. So for those of you folks that have Slack, I don't know if you care, but there is a really large company, might have heard of them, called Disney. They're ditching Slack after the July data breach. A terabyte of confidential messages and files were posted to the company's, are exposed a terabyte of confidential files and messages posted to the company's internal communication channels. Disney's already begun migrating to a new streamlined enterprise-wide collaboration tool. I posted that in our Slack, in the BreakSec Slack, and the first thing somebody had mentioned was, are they going to go to Teams or are they going to Discord? And I'm thinking Discord's not mature enough to handle Disney, I think. It's a lovely product. We have our own Slack. It's beautiful. Wow, gross! I can't believe I just said it like that. But I can't imagine that Disney's going to use something like that. My thought was they're going to use Teams because they're probably using Outlook right now, so it wouldn't take too much to move them to Teams from using O365. Physics pays much better than in other jobs. But yeah, Walt, she doesn't have a job in physics. She has a PhD in physics, but she didn't actually. That was one of the points. She never pursued a career in science, but she has a PhD in physics. So I don't know what the Reuters article is trying to say here. They're trying to say she's a fake person, because I mean, obvious she has nude pastel drawings on her Budapest apartment. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out why they there's not a lot of information here other than that her company was revealed to have licensed the design. I'm just, yeah. She says she hasn't made the exploding pagers. Maybe she made them, but maybe they did get intercepted in transit and it wasn't her fault. She just happened to be the company that they knew was making the pagers for Hezbollah or had made pagers that were going to Hezbollah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you use Teams, sure. If you've got Outlook already, I would say 90+% of the world uses Outlook, unless you're, somebody that still uses like Lotus Notes. Lotus Notes. I think even IBM uses Outlook now. So for the longest time, they were using things like Lotus Notes, and up to 5 years ago, Oracle was still using whatever piece of shit email client and server that it was using in the background. God help you if you're using something like SendMail in this day and age. Ugh. But yeah, so yeah, Disney's moving. So if you are unhappy with what happened in July and a data breach exposing a terabyte of confidential files and messages to the internal Slack channels, yeah. So yeah, the move comes after the company, massive data breach threat actor named Noel Bulge, breached the Slack platform and stole 1.1 terabytes. Okay, so this is just specifically Disney. Why didn't I not hear about that? Did we talk about it or just miss it? Well, we're going down the rabbit hole today, ain't we? Hacker group, Noel Bulge, terabyte of data, Slack. Here you can follow along and read. By the way, yes, I am using Edge. Yes, I am using vertical tabs. I don't hate it. So please turn away. I'm ugly. I'm horrible. Don't look at me. I'm trying something different because it seems to be a little faster than Firefox, and I don't know if it has to do with pre-caching or anything like that. So, but I have turned off a lot of the privacy stuff that's inside. So. Hackers claim they got access to the data from an insider and named the alleged collaborator. Ooh, insider threat. Insider threat. Person with that name who lists Disney as her current employer did not return Wired's request for comment. Whether the hackers actually had inside help remains unconfirmed. Okay, well, I don't know. Yeah, He may not have been they may not have been a willing collaborator, or they may not have known that, they were, found in a password dump or what have you. So, hey, Beta Wolf, there you are. Hello. How are you? So, interesting. Yeah, I don't know what Grizzly Adams is doing down here. My apologies. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy. But yeah, so I guess back in July they got hit up pretty good. Noel Budge says it's a hacktivist group protecting artists' rights and ensuring fair compensation for their work. Okay. Group claims it hacks only targets that violate one of the 3 sins. We do not condone any form of promoting cryptocurrencies or crypto. Oh, so they're Luddites. Okay, that's cool. Oh, second, we believe AI-generated artwork harms the creative industry and should be discouraged, and any theft from Patreon's other supportive artist platforms or any theft from Patreon's other supportive artist platforms or artists in general. Oh, okay. Decent. I think burnout is catching up on me and the entire team. I'm usually knocked out by 6, 7 p.m. and sleep the entire night. Ugh. Well, Beta Wolf, I would suggest putting in some time off, like way in the future. Or, make sure you've got some time for you, and make sure that your team can rotate, out, or have a, Friday, or, you know what, don't take a Friday, because then shit happens normally on a Friday. Do a Monday. Mondays are perfect. Put some time off in October. Oh, good. No, it never is. Never is, Beta Wolf. When you put time off, it's never enough. You just lost a team member. Dang it. Well, hopefully you'll be able to find your way to, getting yourself some help there. I want to believe that people are hiring, but I can't believe they're actually hiring yet. So, yeah, it's rough. It's a rough deal right now. So why did Beta Wolf? Why'd you lose a team member? Was it they were just tired of the shit and didn't want to have to deal with that stuff anymore? Is it a cultural thing, or is it like, they were tired of, were they burnt out as well? I guess that's the question I wanted to ask. See the solarization? It's because my cup is very similar to my chroma. I actually had to change my shirt because it was very similar color to this and was solarizing like that. Yeah, I had to change my shirt to something a little more green. Yeah, where is it? Why did they say smart goals weren't smart? Manager, fools. Smart goals aren't smart. Oh, somebody's asked this. Smart goals aren't so smart in 2024, but that's not what I was looking for. Why smart goals are stupid, when smart goals aren't so smart. Ooh, MIT Sloan Management Review. That would be a good one. I like these long-form articles about leadership or whatever from, Harvard Business Review or what have you. No. Okay, there we go. The intelligent evolution of goals. Goals are not just contingent on the environment. Oh, sorry. Goals are not contingent on the environment, but they also may need to change over time. 3 triggers for this. Business environment shifts to one kind to another. Company changes by capability, development, or acquisitions. Company learns more about goals it is pursuing as experience leads to deeper insights. Okay. Goals are tools that get different jobs done in different situations, but in some cases, the best tool of a job may be no goal at all. Yeah. I didn't understand the stress of just being reorged. I think I mentioned it here on the stream that we were going through another reorg in my company for for our group specifically. And one of the first things I told the new org was we need to change our name because it's kind of misleading as to what it is we do. Because some people see things like incident response in the name and think we do all incident response, when in fact we do very little incident response. We just kind of kept the name over the past 3 years when we were in a different group. And so, we spent, I don't know, a good week trying to figure out what it is we do. Because there's a reorg, so obviously the new organization may want to change what we're doing, the capabilities, some of what we're doing in the team will be handed off. And, we're trying to slough off some things that we'd been known for a while, but not exactly do. We would defer to somebody else. And so just making a name, like we had several that included words like operations or response. And so, we were trying to say, okay, we were trying to create a backronym. So we ended up with like the top three that we had was BARS, BARS, Brave, and Brava. And so we were, because I was like, oh, this one's about assessments. And it's like, well, we don't, what does assessments mean? It's like, if we have to explain what it is, when we say security assessments or something like this, it's like, what does that mean in our terms? Because I'm trying to think of it from a customer point of view. When they hear this team name, are they going to go, okay, well, I can hope to get this from them, because when I hear, any term with IR in it, incident response, I'm like, oh, okay, I can go to them if I've got a problem, incident response, or I need to call an incident. So, we were like, wow, we can, call it this. And it was like, had operations in the title or something. And I was like, are we really operations team? Or are we really a tactical team? Or are we trying to do more strategic stuff? And I think that's why we settled on BARS, because we wanted strategy in there. We wanted remediation. We wanted assessment. And so we were trying to make sure that it kind of reflected what we wanted to do and not what we're currently doing. And so I think we decided on that, but I think your name of your team, and I know this is, again, one of those boring things, but, if you call yourself an ice cream man and you're not actually selling ice cream, but instead selling, Tootsie Roll Pops or something, everybody's expecting you to have ice cream when you actually have this. And it's like, we've had this name for at least 3 years. People think we do a certain thing. We always get these tickets, made out to us, and we're like, no, we're not those people. But we'll help out, collaborate and coordinate those things. But it's like we're not doing that so much anymore. So, just been a really weird couple of weeks with this reorg thing. I think ultimately, I think it's good, but yeah, I think it's gonna be all right. Yeah. Mr. Wolf and Walt, since you appear to be the few people that are on the, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I'm not going to go in and look to see who's lurking. I don't have any lurkers right now. It looks like Beta Wolf may have left. So I don't want to even. You're not even on the list, but it shows so apparently it doesn't show lurkers. So you're listening to me like the radio or whatever. So that's cool. That's okay. And as I mentioned in Twitter, it was weird to see people say, you're not supposed to call out your lurkers, which I'm cool with that. And I actually didn't know you could go look at your lurkers on the list here. I see. Yeah. Apparently, lurkers don't show up in the list, so I don't know. So whatever. I'm going to New York. I'm going to NYC. The 30th of September. So I'm taking a 7 a.m. flight from San Diego. You know how hard it is to get a direct flight to New York from San Diego that doesn't require you to go overnight? Yeah, I'm going for work. Kind of like when I did Dublin a couple months ago, which thank God I got to go do Dublin. I should have done the London trip in February like I had going to, but I chickened out. I actually could have gone, but yeah. I'm actually glad we got to go to Dublin because that was amazing. But yeah, I'm going for 3 days of work. Going to meet my new team. Walt, don't call your lurkers. Don't call out your lurkers as being rather precious. Yeah, you know, I know that some people, listen for different reasons or watch for different reasons, so it's fine. Just deal with that. So yeah, it's one of those things where we're going to meet for an on-site. A lot of the team that I work with is in the East Coast, Jersey City, Ohio, and the team from the EU is coming over to New York. So it seemed like a big nice meeting place. So whoa, you're going to Copenhagen for work, or you should be going to Copenhagen. And are you still going? You said you should be going. The way I'm reading that's like I should be going, and then you're about to say, but I'm not. They're not going to let me, or something like that. Super silky, or the silky smooth voice of security. That is 100% a lie. But I appreciate your flattery. That's lovely, Beta Wolf. But yeah, I'm going to be in and around Midtown Manhattan. I actually love New York. We went 2-3 years ago. We stayed in Hell's Kitchen. For those of you, let me see. New York City. The city's so nice, they named it twice. New York, New York. So yeah, I'm going to be in and around the Empire State Building. And so there's a couple of places we've been up to the Theater District. We stayed in Hell's Kitchen. I think it was near Penn Station. Let's say it was down in this area here, Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee. Yeah, it was somewhere down in this area, on these streets. It was lovely neighborhood. It was either no, it wasn't Twilight Zone. It was one of the dungeon levels on Super Mario 3, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so we stayed in this area of Hell's Kitchen. Got to go down, drove down West Street to go see the Statue of Liberty. Got to go up to a place called Don Antonio's. God damn it, there we go. And so I will be in and around this area of the Empire State Building. There's not a lot to eat in this area that isn't like a little bit of money, but it looks like near Chinatown, so that's pretty cool too. But yeah, I'm flying into Newark Airport because it's the only direct flight that is during the day. Otherwise, I'd have to take like a 10 p.m. flight and get in at 6 a.m. the next morning. I'm like, yeah, Daddy, don't do that. So, ooh, there's a Shake Shack. I know it's the small things. I know it's the small things, But actually, one of the best pizza places we went to, I think it was like number 30th on the list of pizza places, was up near, not the Diamond District, it was up near, where, okay, so there's Central Park, Midtown Manhattan, Hell's Kitchen, yeah, Theater District. Okay, so Don Antonio's Pizza was up around here, and that was an excellent place for pizza. God damn it. All right. Maps.google.com. So anyway, this comes to my promotion. So if any of you are in the area of, that's where I live, somewhere around in this area, New York City. Yeah, so see, these are the places let me see, I think this, oh, yeah, you can see where we stayed at. The rental property was here, I think. Yeah, this is where we stayed at in Hell's Kitchen. And so, let's see, we're going to be, there's Macy's, Don Antonio's, there it is, right there. Doink. yeah, we went to there because we went to the Gershwin Theater because that's where Wicked was. This is probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had, and they say that it's fairly well regarded by people in New York about, you know, best pizza places to go. Oh, what the no! Oh, okay, good. Okay, they're gonna be closed until okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, top 50 pizzas in the U.S. I mean, that's huge, right? So I'm going to have to walk a little ways from where I'm going to be located. Rockefeller Center's right there, but I think I want to say we're in this area here, Midtown South, where I'm going to be staying in my hotel. So it's about a mile. So Monday night, I will be at Don Antonio's having pizza. If you're interested, on the Discord, and you will be in New York, it's not like I'm going to be Zooming you. Hit me up, either DM on Discord or in our Discord here, and say, hey, you know, I'll be there, and we'll settle on a time because I'm getting in at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I figure I'll get to my hotel, which is, which one is it? Is it? It's on the corner. I think it's somewhere around here. This. Is that it? Yes, I will be staying at this place. And so it's not exactly close to Don Antonio's, but it's a nice walk. So, I mean, it'll be a nice walk, you know, from there to Don Antonio's. Let's see, Don Antonio's. 50th Street. There we go. Yeah, see, it's like 1.5 miles. So, and it won't get dark until 7 or 8 o'clock. So 6 p.m. I will be going to Don Antonio's for having pizza. If you want to join me there, I'm not going to go that direction because that's crack addict way. It says 22 minutes, so it's not awful. Oh, see, I can just meander through some kind of trail system here, it looks like. Oh, no, I'll just walk right down Broadway. There you go. But yeah, 6 p.m. on the 30th, I will be at Don Antonio's. So you'll find me. I'll have a red shirt or something on. Yeah, and I'll make some reservations if people are interested. So yeah, come join me, and I'll mention it a few more times before the stream, before I go up there. But you know, just we'll have pizza and hang out and stuff. So, oh, that's cool. Morgan Library and Museum, Scandinavia House, Chrysler Building, right? I've seen that one. Macy's. So if I forget my pants, then I can go get some more pants. Penn Station. I actually thought about taking this train from Newark Airport using the Penn Station exit train station. Probably be quicker than taking an Uber, I think. So I'm kind of excited to go again back to New York for 3 days. So, but yeah. Oh no, maybe it's this. Oh, maybe it's this one. That's I'm staying at a Hilton. I just don't. If it's that one, I'm way better off than I was at the other joint. I think it's that Hilton actually. So yeah, okay. No, I think it is that Hilton. All right, and the Museum of Modern Art is right next door. Anyway, so yeah, 30th at 6 p.m. and I will be having pizza at Don Antonio's. And yeah, so we're about to head to dinner. Which is why I didn't want to get into any malware stuff tonight. We have another interview, just like we did with Mandy last Sunday on adaptive technologies and talking about DEF CON and giving back to the community, etc. We have one this weekend that you'll have to indulge me a little bit because I met this person online on Twitter. She talks about doing satellite hacking. And she's worked with the Western Region CCDC organization and had participated in the satellite hacking events last year. Her name's Caitlin Handelman. And the reason that I wanted to have her on was because, you know, satellite hacking is cool, right? But the other thing is, in about a month, we're about to have a moon. Another one, right? because of the orbital mechanics and the trajectory of this asteroid, 2024 PT5 is about to get captured by Earth's gravity for about 2 months. From the 29th of September to the 25th of November. And hopefully we're not going to make any kind of trajectory change that's going to cause it to spin around the sun and then come back and kick us in the face. Yeah, no shit there, Beta Wolf. So for about 2 months, we're going to have a second moon. You know, apparently, you know, it doesn't take much to be a moon. You just have to be orbiting a planet or a body larger than yourself, which, you know, come to find out, like Jupiter has like 115 moons or some shit right now. And so, yeah, the space rock is on a heliocentric orbit, but it just decided to come and pay us a visit. And it's 37 feet in diameter, so it's tiny, 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 tiny. It's, what, 37 feet would be, what, 6 Volkswagens? 6 Volkswagens? Nah, 4 Volkswagens, assuming 8 feet in length. Maybe 3 Volkswagens? Give or take. But so I've how many bread boxes, how many library congresses is that? So it says a space rock could be anywhere between 16 to 138 feet in diameter, potentially larger. So wait, they don't even know themselves? Assholes. So wait, they said it's likely this, but they said it could be anywhere between this and that. Okay, that's a huge variance. Look at that shit, between 16 and 138 feet. Yeah, they suck. CNN sucks. But yeah, the article I saw about it was a lot better. Could be a few. Yeah, I mean, it's like 12 spruce gooses, but no, wait, I don't know what that is. But as a new mini moon, it's not in any danger of colliding with Earth now or over the next few decades. How do you know that, CNN? You just tried to say, oh, it's 37 feet in diameter, but it probably could be anywhere between 16 to 138 feet. What the hell? Too many freaking numbers right here, right? So the space rock will orbit 2.6 million miles away, or about 10 times the distance between the Earth and the moon. Oh. Okay. So yeah, apparently this is not the first time this has happened. So 2020 CD3, but I think this is the first time I've actually seen the article for it. Yeah, it's all lies. It's all lies. 72% of all statistics are made up. But anyway, so she does a lot of work with orbital mechanics. She's got a kick-ass and woman. Yeah, so she is, yes, in Space No One Can Hear You hack. Yeah, so this is a story she did about that, all hacking cons. She talks and breaks down a little bit about, you know, all the stuff that she does. That's some of her backgrounds there. Yeah, dishes. So, you know, we're not gonna, I don't know how much of this we're gonna talk about, but she's got a nice Twitter, there it is, Caitlin Guru, with pictures of her setup online. Oh, you son of a bitch. Let me grab that link anyway. Copy. You heard it was 68.3245. Well, you know, I mean, you know, you're about 5 sigmas off, I think, right? You know, sigmas are, you know, I learned about what sigmas are when they were talking about the Higgs boson back in 2012, 2013. It was like, oh, you know, it's only 99.99% certain. We really need to be 99.999% certain. And I was like, holy balls, oh my God, what's the difference? And they're like, oh, it's like, you know, 7 sigma or whatever. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And they're like, it's just degrees of certainty, right? And the more nines you get, or uptime in this case, the more uptime you get, you know, the more you know, 5 nines or 7 nines of uptime you get is better. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about, you know, hacking satellites. We're gonna talk about, you know, yeah, this is her. She's, you know, got all kinds of stuff. She has a YouTube channel as well, I think. Let me go and see if I've got I know she's online on Twitter, or on Sam Brown. I don't know him. But yeah, so amazing human being. And yeah, she works with the Bay Area regional stuff. Where's the CCDC stuff? She's been on Paul Security Weekly. Let's see. WRCCDC. You don't know Sam Brown. It wasn't Sam Brown. It said Sam Bowne or whatever. Yeah, so, you know, she was involved in some of the red team stuff for that. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to understand what it takes to actually hack satellites. I know that she does a lot of astrophotography as well. And that guy is one of my favorite talks about Slackware. Oh, see, you lost me at Slackware. So, yeah, I haven't used Slackware in decades. So that's how bad it is. It's been decades, probably since, what, 2001. So. Oh, Sam, yeah, see, his name is Sam Bowne, B-O-W-N-E, not Brown. Socrates plus Slackware equals doom. You said Brown, bruh. You said you don't know who Sam Brown is, right? Did I misread that? You don't know Sam Brown? Yeah. See, you said what? You don't know Sam Brown? No. Apparently, I should know who Sam Bowne, B-O-W-N-E is. So, first person unidentified. Okay, unidentified person. See, this is where you need like the Google thing to kind of wipe them off the thing until they can be identified. But yeah, so, next person, unidentified. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to learn about astrophotography, some of the software that she may or may not. She's definitely got like a lot of specialized software involved, and I'm just really excited because I'm going to geek out because I love me some astronomy. I love seeing the astrophotography, making, what it takes to actually make, the Hubble stuff, Hubble Space Telescope pics. This is, this isn't just one picture. This is, and Caitlin will talk about some of that because I've seen her speak at things, but there's like dozens of layers of things. And so it's going to be awesome to see to talk about post-processing and what it takes to actually get this and to capture these things and how to get things set up. So it's going to be pretty freaking cool. I just geek out about this kind of stuff. So it's just pretty awesome. So anyway, I think I'm going to go. Just wanted to keep it kind of light this week. I'll get back into the malware next week because I really do want to keep at that because I know with the programming stuff, I kind of let it fall off because I was like, oh, it's boring. Nobody wants to watch me kind of struggle trying to get through that. The malware stuff is something I can actually do, and it might be fun to infect myself or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks y'all for being here, and let me see if there's anybody online. By the way, we have a couple of people in our industry who are looking for jobs. Some people you know really well. Who's this guy? Anyway, some people we know really well, and some people, oh crap. One thing about using a new browser, you got to log into every freaking place again. Yeah, we just won't worry about it today. We'll just raid Maker Deck. Raid Maker Deck. If you are hiring, especially for very senior positions, or you're just looking for folks that can make a difference in your organization, please hit up our Discord, post up job descriptions and what have you, because we got some folks that are definitely looking for jobs. And I care about all of the people in my community a lot, and when they don't have work, it makes me sad, and I'm trying to do what I can to help out with that. So hope you all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you on Sunday for the interview with Caitlin. Yeah, take care of yourselves and be safe. And as we're fond of saying here, take care of yourselves because you're the only you have. All right? Talk soon. Bye. Bye, y'all.